Okay, we're going in raw.
Bite the fucking pillow. Yep. Oh God.
Who wants a mustache ride?
Oh,
You're fucking God. You're psychotic. I mean, you're having a break right now, right on a live stream. That's lovely.
One of us has to.
Yeah. God. So fucking hell of a week, but yeah, it's been fun. It's been a lot of rain. It didn't rain 2 days in a row, so I was finally able to mow the fucking lawn.
oh, I'm sure it's come up.
Oh, dude, it was like 12, 13 inches long, so I had to go at half the speed of smell because I didn't want to do 2 passes because I'm lazy.
Right.
So it was like, I'll just go at half the speed of smell on it. Yeah, it looks great now, but it'll probably be right back to where it was in a couple days.
Yep. That's how
So-
it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if my dad was able to mow my lawn today or not. Today would have
Is
been
it-
a perfect day to do it.
Yeah, earlier? Yeah. Yeah, it was like yesterday. It's like, I could probably put it off because, of course, the forecast says it's not going to rain here until tonight, right? Like Friday night. And I'm like, I don't trust these fuckers as far as I can fucking throw them. So I just was like, you know what? Whatever. I'll just get the thing done. I only got half of it done because it got dark. But like, and I'm glad I did because yeah, it's coming down and we're getting some storms headed toward it. But it's been coming down all day, like solid fucking rain, which is good. And yeah, our wildflower field's doing awesome. It's got a bunch of shit in there. It's called lupins. They're those big like purple flowers. They start kind of as like a cone like this, but they just grow out from the bottom. They end up being like this tall. They're native to Wisconsin, and they're really really hard to get going and grow. But once they're established,
Nice.
so we've got a few of those, and it was like good. We succeeded at something.
Yeah. Howie said Dad mowed the lawn today, so
Well, that's good.
yeah,
You don't have to come home to a shit show.
right.
Jungle.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm looking for either a finish mower or a brush hog to hang off the back of my 8N, so I can use that to mow the lawn when it's too wet to get my John Deeres out.
Yeah, I mean, is it worth it?
Yeah, because I need to get down to my target stand and mow around that, and it's way too wet to get down there with my 318. Like my 318 would not make it down there, let alone actually get down there to mow.
Yeah, I suppose. Why don't you just use an old school push mower? Just drag it down there through the mud. I mean the old school one, not the mechanical ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, use one of those fuckers.
Are you talking about the ones that have like the rotary thing in it?
Yes.
Yep.
Because that involves taking it down there, and I'm inherently lazy.
Yeah. I used to mow grass with one of those when I was a kid, and it worked really well. But we only had like a city or a town lot.
Yeah. You also have to have the blades really fucking sharp.
Yep. Or else it just
It doesn't do anything.
no.
Yeah.
You got to keep those sons of bitches razor
Yeah.
sharp. But what they are sharp, man, it works great.
Yeah.
Really? I've never used one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually really good lawnmowers when they're
And they're very satisfying too when you can feel like the chopping through the handles and shit.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying.
I can imagine that.
And it's like silent. So
yeah. You can easily mow your lawn at 2:00 in the morning without waking up the neighbors.
Yep. No,
Can
seriously.
you see the lawn though at 2 a.m?
And if there's any fingers in the way, those will be quickly separated too.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah. If a kid, because they're open on the top too, there's like nothing really. And if a kid puts their hand in there while you're doing that, it's goodbye.
I wonder how many times that happened in the past when those things were way more ubiquitous. I know, right?
A lot.
Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot of accidents back then, and that's why everything.
And the kids were tough.
It's like the old school fans, the old school metal fans.
Where you can just stick your hand right in there.
Right into it. Yeah.
God. And they were metal blades. They weren't plastic.
Yeah, it's just putting your hand in a boat propeller.
Yeah.
And the motors and the motors weren't electric. Well, they were electric motors, but they were like gear driven, so there was a direct connection between the motor and the blade.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like no clutch action. You couldn't just stop it.
Yeah.
People used to have it rough back then.
And then they grew up and turned into boomers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's There
all
you
them
go.
all them metal fans and manual lawnmowers, fucking.
There was the smart ones and there was the tough ones, but there
Mhm.
was no dumb ones.
Yeah. Yeah, just ask them. No, there are a lot. I think it's like every generation. It's like 50% are absolute morons, and they're the loudest and the most annoying, and that's the ones you see. The rest of them just want to be left the fuck alone and live their lives.
So yeah, I don't remember who I was talking to about that this week, but I was talking to somebody. It's like, okay, let's look at the boomer generation as a statistical anomaly when it comes to the demographics. And okay, let's adjust the boomers to be that generation to be the same size that any other generation would have been
Yeah.
had the greatest generation and the silent generation not fucked like rabbits.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like seriously, we could have if you account for that for just demographic spread, there's not that much difference between say the boomer generation's population density and like Gen X and millennials.
Right.
Yeah, the problem is that there was just too fucking many of them born because not all of them had kids.
Mhm.
No, exactly. And the ones who did, those kids became very angry and then, had the
Like
millennials, which were
yeah,
coddled
like,
because they were ignored.
but like my parents were both boomers, and
Yeah, mine
so
too.
I'm the youngest of three kids in my parents' family. Um, so
Mike,
my
are your
sister,
parents boomers?
Uh, I think technically, yes. They were both born in 62, 63.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. 64 is the cutoff. Yep.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, they were right on the edge.
We were all
but
raised by boomers. Lovely.
but out of me, my brother, and my sister, I'm the only one that has kids. Well, my brother technically has a son, but he hasn't seen him since he was a baby. But you know, out of three offspring, my parents only ended up with three grandchildren when they should have realistically had like six or seven total.
Mm.
The face tracking is fucking hilarious.
I love it. It's
I
like,
fucking hate it.
It's really profound. You're saying this, and it's like slowly zooming in.
It looks like you're like one of those shitty fucking dramatic YouTube wannabes.
Yeah.
It's just like
I don't have control over it. That's the problem.
you probably do. I don't know. It's
I
not
don't
worth. I
know
mean,
how.
I think it's funny as shit. Like, just keep rolling with it.
Just need some like killer soundtrack, like really like dramatic music playing.
Yeah.
Easing into it.
You got to make a point every time it zooms in, so
Yeah.
people really listen to you. And you mean it.
I gotta
You
use
know?
the bathroom.
I'll get Duel of the Fates playing in the background.
That's probably the best Star Wars track ever.
Yeah, that and the Darth Vader march from the original trilogy.
Yeah, it's. I think Duel of the Fates is better by not by much, but by enough.
Duel of the Fates was just it was an epic piece of music combined with the only epic scene from the entire movie.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there.
Like there was like I actually saw Phantom Menace opening night in the theater when it came out.
Yeah.
And there was an audible gasp in the theater when the door opens and it's just Darth Maul standing there and then
Yep.
and he lights up his lightsaber staff.
Yeah, and it's funny because like they
whole...
cast Ray Park because he designed his own kind of style, like it's a unique style to him of like the staff fighting.
Yep.
And then they're like, well, why don't we just make his lightsaber dual blade?
Yeah.
And so he was just in his element doing his shit, and then they had to work around him.
Jesus Christ, Mike, did you even wipe?
I peed. I didn't fucking shit.
Did you even have a chance to pull your pants down?
I'm wearing some... Dude, I'm wearing
swim trunks?
Not swim trunks.
Gym shorts?
Yeah, gym shorts. Sorry.
How fucking hard was that?
It was very hard.
I'm wearing gym shorts too, and I know what they're called.
Gym shorts. I don't even. I just pull one leg open and just piss into the toilet through that.
Probably
So
don't even
I
bother
just pull
pulling your
one
shorts
of my
down.
legs.
It'll dry.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You said you just pull one of your
Just pull one of the
up.
legs open. Yeah. I don't.
Just
pull
a
the
little bit.
waistband down. Yeah.
Yep. Just piss down the side of your leg or the inside of your leg. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're gym shorts. They'll dry. They're meant to deal with. They're meant to wick moisture.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's pretty acidic moisture, but
I realized that one because I used to live out, in more of the country, and I preferred to sometimes just step outside and piss out on the ground rather than into a toilet.
Kills the grass.
Yeah, but like I eventually noticed that it was killing the grass in the spot that I peed in every time. I was like,
yeah.
That's
maybe I should not do that anymore.
Well, I stopped peeing on the grass.
You gotta do it the same. You can't do it in the same spot,
right?
And after it rains, it's fine. But like if it's dry, which it is out where he's at,
yeah, very much.
And you piss in the same spot over and over again, like off the deck or something, it'll die.
Yeah,
within a couple days.
Happened. Just this one area that was like that big, just yellow grass.
Ryan, real truckers don't have piss bottles; they have piss jugs.
You have your piss jug with you right now, Jake?
No,
you're not. No,
I got mine. I'm really hydrated. I'm gonna rehydrate.
Yep.
I drank like
a real trucker will buy a bottle of washer fluid, pour it in his washer reservoir, and keep the jug as a piss jug.
Mm.
Little stingy on the dicky.
Yeah, cleans it up nice.
Yeah, a little ammonia for you. Yeah.
Gotta have some sanitary.
Oh God, that's
one of our drives. Mike, I remember peed into a bottle while I was driving.
I had to. We were stuck in. Yeah, it's like. Well, Mike, I told Mike because we were stuck in traffic right outside of Chicago, like east of Chicago,
around the freeway.
Yep. And I mean, it was like because it was construction, so a bridge went down to one lane, and there was 4 lanes that went into one.
Pretty fucking typical for Chicago.
So we're sitting there, and Mike's like, "I gotta piss," and I'm driving, and I'm like, "All right, how long can you hold it? 10, 20 minutes." I'm like, "All right, well, let's see." We're going at half the speed of smell, right?
Yeah,
just barely coasting. And all of a sudden, he's like, "Okay, I really got to piss." I'm like, "I can't do a fucking thing about it, dude, right now. Like, I'm in the middle lane. I can't get anywhere. It's bumper to bumper. We've got a ways to go." I'm like, "Just piss in a bottle." And he looks at me like, "Are you fucking nuts?" I'm like, "Hey, it's got to be done. Just go in the back and piss in a bottle."
Yeah.
We had a bunch of shit in the back too of this van that we rented.
Yep.
And so he climbs back there, can't get it done the first time.
No.
And I'm like, "Dude, I'm not looking. Nobody is looking at you. They're fucking pissed off that they're in traffic." Just
were you gun shy, Michael?
Yeah.
It was my first time, so I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a little difficult,
Then we're sitting there for like another 15 minutes, and we went about a quarter mile.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "All right, I'm gonna try this again." So he grabs it, jumps in the back, and he's like, "I can't." It's so fun whenever you take a drink.
Yeah, it's like
it's like zoomed in now. You watch here. Let it zoom out. Like put that down for a second. Let it zoom back out. Like just look forward like you were before because it zooms out. Or no, what the fuck?
It's not working.
It's really getting aggressive.
It zooms in when I turn my head.
Yeah, the flounder head. I told you. It makes it look bigger. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so about 20 minutes
so
passes.
Fucking annoying. Just stay still.
Yeah, he can't get it done again. No. And I'm like, I mean, you could just go out and piss on the highway. Like, no, it's not going to happen.
It's Chicago. Nobody would notice.
Yeah. Well, if there's kids around, Mike's going to be a sex offender, and I didn't want to have to deal with that paperwork. And be like,
again, in Chicago, nobody will notice.
Yeah, true.
It's a city that's run by sex offenders. So
anyway, we get into Indiana finally, right? We cross the border, and they're like exit up here with gas and everything. Guess what's closed?
Yeah,
gas station.
Like, fuck.
No, the exit.
Oh.
And so Mike's like, "Oh fuck," and I'm like, "You know what? Fuck this." So I started just weaving in and out of traffic, and I just went, got to the next exit, ripped in there, and it's this shitty little gas station. Mike peed for like 10 full minutes.
Yeah, it was a big one.
And but we made it to Indiana, and then it was pretty much smooth sailing from there.
Yep. But then
So-
there was one point where I was driving, and
Yeah, I had to piss, and we were in like
You did.
we had just gotten into Ohio,
yeah,
and I'm like, I gotta fucking piss, and then so I just knelt down, faced the door, rocked the piss, capped it off, and put it underneath the seat.
yep.
It's like it was that easy.
And
I'll
chucked it out
eventually
the
be
window
able
at
to
the
do it.
next bicyclist you saw.
No, it was. I don't like chucking piss bottles. I just kept them and threw them in the garbage when we got there. Dumped them out, and threw them in the garbage. But
we
no, I was
we may or may not have done that at least once in Iraq.
well, that's where I learned it. Is like you just piss in a bottle. Like you got nowhere else to go.
No, I'm saying chucking the piss bottle
Oh,
at a
chuck-
random
my-
bicyclist.
Yeah, my dad used to piss in Mountain Dew bottles and throw it out and like throw it out to the kids like it was Mountain Dew.
we would actually try to nail the bicyclist
Yeah,
with the
for
piss
sure.
bottle.
I don't know which
Yeah.
one's worse. Jesus Christ! I think the first one.
Yeah, my dad's always got like the sinister shit covered like more than everyone else.
Yeah,
Like,
but he was also there in 2004 when Iraq was the Wild West and they could get away with anything.
Yep. Yeah, so it's like
That was in the days when they had a drop AK in the truck just in case.
a couple of them, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. But yeah, it's
No, dude had an AK on him. We had to smoke him.
yep. Whoops.
Cracked
But,
the AK out of the back of the Humvee.
Yeah, Jake, did we tell you when we were driving down there? We were I don't know if we've told you this, but we had just gotten on the road. It hadn't rained like last summer, it was drier than
Is this when you're going to that the Japan shoot? The Japan
Yeah,
reenactment shoot?
yeah,
Okay.
yep. So we just got on the road. 64 is close, so we go down to Amory instead of just going to New Richmond. So we go down through Amory, go on 63 to Baldwin, right? So we're on 60.
Eric Bowen.
So we're about, I don't know, 2 miles north where there's like that little church and that school right on 63.
Oh,
It's
yep,
like,
yep.
So
Yeah, I know that.
we're driving past that, and all of a sudden this semi or like this truck is coming at us, and he flashes. He like turns his lights off and on, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And
He's telling you to
raining.
turn your headlights on.
No, he was not. This is
Oh, I
even
know.
better. That's what I thought. I was like, my
remember.
brights aren't on. What the fuck? And
Either that or he was telling you there was a cop up ahead.
no, it's not that, Jake. Let me finish the fucking story. It was raining very hard, like the first time all year, thunderstorming, torrential rain. All of a sudden, I see in the middle of the road, because I slowed down because I thought there was a cop or something. I see about 3 feet away from my fucking door a being.
Yeah, an entity of some kind.
It was some meth, cracked, drugged out chick in the middle of the fucking road at 2 or 3. No, it was 3 in the morning. And she goes like this.
Yeah.
And she starts going in front of the vehicle. I'm like, fuck this. So I gun it, right?
My heart jumped.
Dude, I was
When
sitting,
I saw her.
I just reacted. I was like,
Yeah.
and then I went, what the fuck was that?
I thought we were like encountering, like a ghost or something. I mean, it was
Dude, it was
gnarly.
that was the
Oh,
creepiest
fuck.
thing.
There was one day I was on my way to work from when I was still living in Wausau and working in Rapids. I'm on my way to work. I'm driving down this county road right outside of Rapids. I'm like 2 miles away from my truck, and it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's fucking dog early, and I'm just driving down the road, and my headlights. I'm driving. This when I was driving my excursion. My headlights light up what can only be a body laying in the middle of this fucking county highway, like right on the center line, crossways across the highway. And
Wow.
there's like 3 or 4 houses right there. And I stand on the brakes and I go around them. And I'm like, the fuck? And I actually ended up calling 911. I'm like, hey, there's a dude laying in the middle of the fucking highway out here.
Well, that's what we ended up doing. It was weird. It was serendipity because we went down to Quick Trip right before we got on the freeway, and as we're walking in, there's a state trooper walking out. Because I was like, the deputies aren't going to be able to get there in time. They're probably too fucking far away. It's 3:30 in the morning at this point. And so I say, hey, can I talk to you for a second? He's like, what? I'm sure he was just about to get off shift.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And I'm like, so we were coming down on 63 and we're about 2.5 miles north of Baldwin by that school thing. And there's literally a chick walking down the middle of the road. We almost hit her and a truck almost hit her. She's going to get hit. He just goes, okay, thanks for letting me know. Then he goes off to his car with his food. He's like, you can just tell he's like,
bitch. I just wanted a fucking break.
Fuck. Yeah. And he's like, but I mean, he went and checked it out because he was gone by the time we got our shit and got out of there. But it was like serendipity because I was like, if I call the county, like it's going to take forever. But he was like very close. And
yeah,
you might as well just go check to see if there's a body and just do a recovery at that point. But because I mean, she was 3 feet away from me. And if I would have been going 45 where the speed limit is, I would have fucking smoked her. But yeah, that was fucking creepy as shit. And I see you seeing a body in the middle of the road. Was it probably just? It was like it was a rural road. You said?
Yeah, it was a county highway.
Sorry, I missed that. What was the body? What happened?
Don't know. It was probably just a drunk person because the officers that responded called me back and they said, "Where was this at?" And I'm like, "It was like a quarter mile north of the intersection. You know where those 4 houses are." They're like, "Yeah, we went through there. There was nobody laying in the road." I'm like, but no, it was another time where I'm driving. I was working for the same company, and I was heading out of Stevens, or I was heading out of Rapids, heading towards Stevens Point. I had just turned off of Highway 13 onto. What highway is that? I don't remember. 66, I think. I literally just turned, and it's like one of those fucking cold ass days. It's like -20 outside. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning, -20, like 2 feet of snow on the ground, 3 or 4 feet in the ditches. And I turn and I make the turn, and I look down. There's a fucking car with its headlights on, buried up to the fucking windows in the ditch.
Oh my god.
And it's like 20 degrees below outside. I call 911 and I'm like, "Hey, can you guys just go do a wellness check because it's too fucking cold for somebody to be broken down. If they're broken down there and their car's not running, they're gonna be dead in like an hour." Because it's like it was seriously like -20 out that day. My truck was having trouble running
like
because it was
unbearably
so cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could not get the cab warm because it was so fucking cold out.
Oof.
And like an hour later, the deputy that responded called me back and he said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm not under any obligation to tell you anything about that, but we just wanted to call and thank you because there was 2 occupants in that vehicle, and one of them was a girl who had been reported as a runaway earlier in the day."
Oh wow! So it was even more dramatic than than what you initially thought.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
So
well, thank God, they got him.
Yep, it was some guy out of like Chicago or something like that, and this teenage girl from Stevens Point who her parents had reported her as a runaway the previous afternoon.
Good Lord.
Right
when you mentioned the person laying on the road, that reminded me of when I was a little kid. I don't know, I must have been like 6 or 7, but one time we were driving in the middle, and it wasn't the middle of the night, but it was nighttime. It was dark, and my dad was driving, and there was someone eventually we came upon laying in the middle of the road, like completely, horizontal to us, and we're like, "What the fuck?" And it was a guy trying to commit suicide.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
trying to fuck, yeah. And right as we like showed up, like his friends came out and like tried to and stopped him. But I remember my dad was like, my dad like got out of the car to see what was going on, and right as he did that, this guy's friends came up and pulled him out. It was, at the time I didn't really get what the hell was going on, but looking back now, it's like, Jesus, that's fucking dark.
Oh, did you tell Jake about that chick that was in the parking garage?
No.
In LA?
Oh, where she was like a zombie.
Yeah.
No, that was had a couple encounters with weird like feral women in LA, like at nighttime, but like there was one time where we entered the complex in the parking lot, and this girl, we passed by her, and she was wearing black dress, and but like with hair all fucked up and everything, and she's like stumbling like a zombie. As we passed her, she had this like giant fucking, almost like uh Pennywise smile on her face, and looked at us as we were passing her, and we're like, what the fuck? And as we passed her, she like started to kind of like run towards our car, and we're like, fuck this shit. Yeah, and we just sped around and parked outside the complex instead, and
and you're in California, so you can't be armed.
There was another time. I know there was another time where there was some girl that when I pulled up to my complex in LA, and she like ran out in the road and did this whole thing to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I stopped, and she's like, my boyfriend won't let me in. My boyfriend won't let me get my stuff. And she's just like going crazy. And I'm like, well, I can't help you. Yeah, I can't help you there. And she's like, I just need to get in there, and I'm gonna fucking kill him. And I'm just like.
And you wonder why he won't let him get won't let you get your stuff.
Right. I mean, she was just out of her mind. Yeah, that was the same complex, different girl. But there was one time where right outside our complex on the sidewalk, there was a naked chick just standing down there, completely just standing there, completely nude, and there were like ambulance people there standing there with her, and they couldn't do anything, but I mean, you could tell she was like completely drugged out of her mind. And right as the police showed up, they like were able to take her. But I guess the ambulance people, they couldn't touch her or something because they wouldn't put their hands on her or anything. And then when the cops showed up, they actually like put a blanket over her. And at that point, then they could do whatever. But
so they could beat her without actually beating her.
They just put the blanket over her, then they just let her over to the ambulance. But yeah, before that, they're just standing there, like asking her questions. And at one point, she tried to do a handstand. Oof. And seeing that from my deck was not a pretty sight.
I mean, was she hot?
No.
Oh,
no, it was not a good kind of naked.
It's not a good kind of naked. It's like going to a nude beach.
Yeah, it's like
fucking just flavalanches. Yeah,
or that nudist campsite that's right outside of Black River Falls on 54. No, it's on 27.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, there's a nudist campsite like 4 miles outside of Black River Falls on Highway 27.
Oh man,
someone said I have to drive past it frequently.
And what do you see?
Nothing, because he got a big wall up around the whole around the whole place.
Right for the better.
But you know what it is. It's all fucking boomers.
Oh yeah, and they're all giving each other STDs
and septuagenarians.
Yeah, they're giving each other STDs, and they're having like, oh god.
Yeah, there's 100% guaranteed chance that there are no actually attractive people that go there.
I would take that bet, and I would say there's 1% of people who are probably mildly attractive.
Mm.
I wouldn't deal in absolutes. Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
There might be a couple. You're saying there might be like a couple of 5s or 6s walking around.
Yeah, anything above a 5 is okay. But yeah, I mean,
but guaranteed that anytime one of us would go there, like book a weekend there would be nothing worth looking at.
Well, and there'd be nothing left of us.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like throwing a fucking steak into a pit of rabid old dogs that haven't eaten in a long time.
Someone just said here in the chat, there are no young, hot nudist women for some reason. It's because they don't
need to do that. Exactly.
They don't need to do that stupid shit to feel special.
That's exactly my point. Thank you.
Yeah. Fucking nasty. Like, yeah, it's like people, I will say, friends that I have that go to nude beaches in Europe, they say there's a better chance of seeing like hot chicks and shit there.
Oh, I'm sure it's like Euro trip over there. Yeah.
Well, that's because it's culturally acceptable over there.
Yeah. Here it's just like, let's just leave the clothes on, especially. I mean, here's the thing. I wouldn't walk around naked because it doesn't, I need to be protected from the elements and shit like that. Right. Mm-hmm. My skin is not good. I'm white as fuck, and the sun's gonna hurt me. And in the winter, it's self-explanatory. I'm not going to be a nudist, right?
Right.
But
that's the best time.
But that's the thing is, there's these people that they believe in, like, freezing the body and shocking the body. They do it at 33 degrees. I'm like, yeah, you don't understand when it's 60 degrees colder than that, if you go outside and you jump in the snow with boxer shorts or swim trunks on, and you roll around and then you go into the water, you're going to die. Like, you're going to die.
You don't even need to jump in the snow. You just need to stand outside long enough.
That's the thing. Stand out there. Just stand out there for about 5-10 minutes when it's on a windy, nice, brisk day, when it's 30 fucking below. You will die.
You'll have frostbite in about 2 minutes, and you'll be dead in about 10.
Yep.
You don't even need to get wet.
Oh, God, I mean, that people just, yeah, we're going on that rant again, but like, it was not bad this winter. I will not bitch about this winter. I don't even think it got. Did it get?
We had 2 weeks total where it was cold enough to worry about diesel gelling, which means like -15.
I think it only got. Yeah.
That'll happen, huh?
Oh yeah.
That cold.
Oh God, yeah.
Yep. That's why they have to have the winter mix, and that usually doesn't work even.
Well, the winter mix works as long as it isn't biodiesel blend. And we talked about this, I don't know when, recently-ish, where all the fuel in like Menominee and West all comes out of the Twin Cities.
Yes, yeah, we did.
And all of the fuel in Minnesota, all the diesel in Minnesota is biofuel blend. And biodiesel starts gelling up at like 10 degrees above zero.
Oh, fuck that.
But pure petroleum diesel, and that's even the winterized stuff. The pure petroleum diesel, it'll stay usable to -15, -20.
Yeah. I've noticed it because I just have a little a salamander heater for the garage when I'm shipping in the winter. Yeah. And when it gets down to when it gets anything below zero, this winter I actually didn't. I used it like 3 times, but when it gets like zero is kind of my limit for being able to just not. Then my computer doesn't start. The printer doesn't work as well. So if it's 0 or below, I'll turn that son of a bitch on. But there was one time a couple years ago when we had that a lot of snow and it was really fucking cold, where I had the diesel. I poured it in there. It was the winter blend, the petroleum shit, and then I went to go start the thing and it just wouldn't fucking start.
Yep.
And I'm like, because it was thick, and I'm like, please just give me a little bit. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck. So I went and I got this that treatment that was a heat or some shit or whatever the fuck it's something
like House or something.
Yeah, and so I dumped that in there. I started getting sparks and a little bit coming out. I'm like, really? I have to dump this whole fucking thing in there? So I did. I shook it around. And then
Diesel
it fired
911.
Up. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it fired up, but I was sitting there freezing my ass off, and I'm like, fucking God, just work.
Is that a torpedo heater?
Yeah, it's a torpedo heater. My dad always called it a salamander heater, but
I use kerosene in the wintertime.
I'm gonna start doing that. That's because I'm used to using. I'll fire it up like when I don't like cold at all. And here's the thing: is I'll work out there, but then I have to wear a big jacket, and that impedes my movement and like acquiring shit that I'm picking off the shelves. So I'll just use kerosene.
Virginia, I prefer diesel over gasoline.
Oh yeah, and I don't know why it's more. Well, I do know why it's more expensive. It shouldn't be because it's less refined, but
it's more expensive because people finally figured out that diesel-powered vehicles get better fuel economy on average than their gas counterparts.
Those old Volkswagen Jettas that ran on diesel.
Yeah, like
dude, they got like
60 miles a gallon.
I know they got like 500 to 600 miles to the tank off of like a 12 or 11 or 12 gallon tank.
Yeah,
and it's like 500 fucking miles on one fill up. And diesel back in the 90s and early 2000s was like about 20% less than gasoline. And so, yeah, then I'm sure lobbyists started, we're not selling as many gasoline power cars. So, and they started putting regulations on it. And then they had, you have to do this. EPA gets involved.
It pollutes more. It's blah, blah, blah. Black cloud of unburned fuel comes out of your exhaust pipe. Blah, 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 blah. Or you just fuck off and let us be. That's an option too.
Yeah, that's probably a better idea. That's what I would opt for.
Talking about this stuff gelatinizing and all that, which because of the cold reminds me of something of the complete opposite when I was when I lived in LA, I don't live there anymore, but when I did, and I would fly back, I remember one winter, and it's like, it was an early flight out of Burbank Airport, and I don't know, probably like 60 some degrees, maybe, if that. And it's in the early morning, like 4 in the morning, and the plane's supposed to take off. Like, I'm sorry, this plane's going to be delayed. Like, why is that? It's because the plane has frost on it. And they're like, and they're like, well, we need to wait for the frost to melt. And I'm like, well, just, you mean every airport uses de-icing? And they're just like, we don't have that here.
Yeah.
Said, so what we're going to do is once the sun comes over the mountains, we're gonna reverse the plane out into the sunlight and have it melt the frost. That was their way of dealing with it. They can't handle those conditions.
No.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at just how sensitive a wing is to frost and ice buildup. Even just like an eighth of an inch or less of ice buildup on a wing, and it loses its lift. It's like, and we figured out how to fly how.
Right.
Yeah, well, I still don't like flying, but every time I fly, I'm impressed by it. You know, it's like how the hell do we go? How do we get here? Like, this is really cool. And it's only 130 years old.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's gotta hate flying so much.
I don't hate
flying, or you just have it's just like uncomfortable to you.
I don't like being packed that close.
Oh yeah,
with people I don't know.
Can, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like there's one person always hacking. There's a baby always crying.
Yep.
There's somebody talking to somebody on their phone way too fucking loud. It's like it never fails.
Annoying. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the problem that I have with flying isn't the flying part; it's the giving up my Fourth Amendment rights.
Oh yeah,
just to get on the fucking plane.
Right.
It's like, I'm not a fucking criminal. Why am I being searched? I've done nothing wrong. Why am I being searched?
Mm-hmm. Well, did you hear about that dude that went ape shit? I think it was a couple weeks ago, and like got through security and then made a knife out of pens and rubber bands and shit and started stabbing the fuck out of people.
Jeez.
And it's like, okay, so now are we going to have to like not be able to take pens on board with us? You know, because one fucking idiot got caught with a pseudo shoe bomb, or so they say. We have to take our goddamn shoes off now instead of just getting violated. It's like, well, now you got to smell everybody's dirty, rotten fucking feet.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to walk, and you got to walk across the security checkpoint in your sock feet, where everybody else is walking across in their dirty, rotten, stinky, nasty sock feet.
Yeah,
it's like
get inside that thing where you have to put your arms up like this, and yeah.
And they store the image of your nude body. No, it gets deleted immediately. Then explain why the TSA had a fucking database of like 60,000 naked bodies.
I used to when I was younger, I used to sometimes wear a stud belt, you know, and
ooh.
And one time I went to through the airport and forgetting to take that off, and I went through their metal detector. They're like, "What is on your waist?" Because it was just like a huge thing of metal. And they're like, "Oh, sorry about that." And they're like, "Go through it again. Take that off." They were like super cautious.
Oh yeah.
It was
in those
just lit up. You know,
I swear to God, those people have no fucking sense of humor either.
Yeah. Yeah, miserable.
It's like they do not see how absolutely pointless their fucking job is, and they have no sense of humor about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a couple really good. I think the funnest place that I've ever gone through security, I know it's kind of a paradox, but is North Carolina, Raleigh Airport, and Raleigh Durham. And here's the thing: is there was a long fucking line, and I was like, oh God. And then we got through in a matter of 10 minutes from the time we got our tickets and checked, or no, we didn't have check bags. From the time we got our tickets to the time we were in the fucking terminal was about 12 minutes.
Mm.
And they were nice. They were funny. They were like cordial and blah, blah, blah. Oh, Wisconsin. Yeah. You like cheese? And I'm like, I love cheese. And he goes, hell yeah, brother. I love cheese too. And I'm like, fuck yeah. It's awesome. Boom. You're good to go. Like, and then he was so nice, and everybody else was like, all right, just come over here. This line's open. We'll get you guys moving. And I was like, holy shit. Wow, am I dreaming? Am I tripping balls here? Because this is the nicest TSA staff I've ever met in my fucking life.
They were probably just bored because they didn't actually have, any passengers to screen.
Well, no, I said there was a huge line. Like there was a lot of people there, and I
Yeah.
was just like,
Okay.
you know what I'm like? It was like that's why I said I'm like, oh fuck, we're gonna be here for an hour. God, because in Minneapolis, you are there for an hour. And no, we got through again in 10 minutes from the time we got in line to the time we got through and got our shit back on. 10 minutes with like 300 or 400 people. I was like, that's impressive.
Nice.
Yep, they got us through the scanners. They weren't dicks if you had something in your pocket or whatever, and they just did it, and then we were good to go. And I'm like, okay, this softens the blow. It's like spitting on your hand at least. At least you're not going in dry. So
Beautiful.
But
Beautiful
yeah.
metaphor.
Yeah, that's the only airport that I've been to where they're not just complete turds.
No, I've had okay experiences, but usually it's just like just wham bam boom and that's it.
Oh, LAX actually, surprisingly, last time I flew home was not bad at all either. They were really nice and they got us through really quick. So I stand corrected on my statement. LAX, and it might have just been that day, that one security checkpoint, whatever. But they were actually really nice and friendly.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, and they got us to where we needed to be. They had people standing every like 15 or not 15, but like 50 feet. Telling you, they're like, where are you headed? I'm like, Minneapolis. They're like, all right, go down these stairs. And they're like, where are you headed? All right, go down that hallway and then take the first, there was people standing around.
TSA agents who were actually helpful?
Again, every time that happens, because I'm so used to Minneapolis, right? In Minneapolis, St. Paul,
that whole like metropolitan complex, everything inside of 494, 694 could just be vacuumed up by a black hole, and I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, that place kind of sucks.
I had to drive through it this week.
Which area? What place?
Like the place by the airport.
St. Paul.
Oh, okay.
Mike knows where it is. He's been here, but like
it's all under construction right now too, right by the airport. You know that big long bridge on 494?
Yep.
They've got it compressed down to 2 lanes in each direction on the eastbound span. They've got the entire westbound span shut.
That sucks.
Virginia says the worst TSA experience was in Salt Lake City. That doesn't surprise me at all. Salt Lake City is a fucking shithole. I hate it so much.
They were probably trying to recruit you to the Mormon church.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's either you got the fucking sterile as hell Mormon like communities in the center of it, and on the outskirts you got nothing but slums. It is like the fucking worst city that I've been to that's along the west. I hate it.
Never been.
Sorry if you.
It's gorgeous. People. It's a gorgeous area.
In terms of the nature, yeah, the mountains around it are really cool, but the fucking city itself sucks.
Yeah, and the people are weird and smell funny.
Yeah, it's just a weird place. I hate it. I went there. I was there for a week once to go to an art exhibit, and I was almost like not worth it, dude. Because it was just it sucked.
Yeah, Jake, have you been there?
Where, Salt Lake City?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I've been there. I was there a lot when I was driving over the road.
Went there
all the fucking time.
What do you think the scummiest city you've ever been to is?
Oh, the scummiest city I've ever been to. Honestly, it's a toss-up between Portland, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Because I've been to all three, and I've made deliveries. Los Angeles, I made deliveries to a little place that's right outside of the port facility. They packaged
in Long Beach?
No, not Long. Yeah, I think it was Long Beach.
Yeah, Long Beach is their port.
Yep. It was right outside of the port facility. It was a place that took stuff that was being exported, and they would package it up to be loaded onto a ship.
Yep, that's Long Beach for sure.
And so I've made deliveries there. That was pretty janky down there.
That's a rough fucking place.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking janky down there. And then the best part is that they never had a backhaul lined up for me when I was done unloading, so I would always have to try to find somewhere in the Los Angeles basin to park while I waited to find out what my next dispatch was.
Yeah.
And the only place that I ever found was a TA that was inside the city limits, and it was pay to
Oof.
park only, and it was pretty fucking sketchy inside the pay to park only TA.
I'm not surprised.
Um, so there was that. Then I made a delivery in downtown. One of my backhauls from there was actually a delivery to downtown San Francisco, to a construction site in downtown San Francisco. And literally 2 blocks away from the construction site was a homeless encampment.
Yep.
And this was, what year was that? Had to have been 2017 ish. Yeah, somewhere in the ballpark of 2017.
Same with so at the same time you were in LA then.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have been there at that time.
Yeah. And then I had to make a couple of deliveries to Portland, Oregon, and oh my fucking god, what a no. Just no.
I know what you mean. I've been through all those Western cities.
Let me see if I can even find the place that I delivered in San Francisco, because it was, what the fuck was it? It was some sort of like market or upscale hoity-toity thing that they were building.
Like one of those outdoor mall village kind of places.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was something like that. And it was literally right next to one of the freeways.
Just in San Fran?
Yeah.
I've only been there once.
Where?
The bridge is cool. The Golden Gate Bridge going across, that's cool.
I didn't actually go across the Golden Gate.
Oh, yeah?
The one I went across was... I went across the Oakland Bay Bridge.
Oh, okay.
Across Yerba Buena Island and
Not
Treasure
as
Island.
big, but yeah.
Yeah, I went across that way. That was just to get the fuck out of the city. I wanted out of there as quickly as I could get the fuck out of there.
Understandable. Especially like if you're driving a truck, I can imagine that's even a bigger
Fortunately, I was empty on the way out of there.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could fucking cruise.
Yeah, I could just hammer down and all the acceleration in the world.
What's the nicest city you guys have been to?
Nicest one is the one that I live in, which is Boise.
Idaho.
Fucking biased. A little fucking biased.
Why live anywhere else? Yeah. I can't think of any other place because every other place I visited, I'm always like, I don't want to live here. I want to go back home. I mean, because I lived in LA, so I would say that's probably the shittiest city I've been to. But yeah, I mean, I lived there for 4 years. Portland, obviously, I've only been through that, and that is a shithole. But I have to say, like, Seattle is also a shithole.
I just went around Seattle, and that was enough for me.
Seattle has some really cool stuff in it. I went there. The first time I went to Seattle was back in 2007, and it was actually had a lot of really cool stuff. Every time I've been back there, it gets shittier and shittier, and I'm just like, I've been to Seattle, I think maybe 6 or 7 times, and every time it's like, fuck this place, I hate this place.
I'm trying to remember what the best city I've ever been to is.
I'm gonna turn the AC on for a little bit. It's getting fucking nasty sticky in here.
Honestly, I think the best city I've ever been to, I'm gonna have to say, was Fargo.
You consider that a city?
It's a big city by Midwest standards.
Yeah.
It is a big city by Midwest standards. But all of the streets are super wide. They're super straight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can get even on the streets that aren't truck routes, you can still go down them with a truck.
Well, that's good.
So, you know, and it's all built on a grid, so you can't get fucking lost.
It's easy as hell to navigate through. Yeah.
Yes.
Boy, that's again going back to Seattle though. You want to get lost, just fucking go to Seattle. It is the antithesis of a grid. It is just fucking windy, snaky roads going through hills that surrounded by trees, and you can't see anything.
So yeah, the place that I had to deliver.
Nobody gives a fuck.
In San Francisco, it was somewhere down around Mission Bay.
You were just bitching about boomers not too long ago in this stream.
I'll make sure to look this up on Google Earth because yeah, it's very interesting.
But yeah, it's I've been to so many fucking places.
Mike got to see when we drove through 90 through the tunnels and shit, seeing Chicago.
Yep,
that was fun.
Because on the way down, they took us around the city. There was like a huge thunderstorm going on, and we couldn't see the skyline because it was so foggy and rainy. But then on the way back,
that's not uncommon for Chicago.
Thanks, John Madden. But no, on the way back it was like crystal clear, and then we went through 90 and paid the tolls and shit. But it was worth it because we got closer and closer and closer. And Mike's like, "Oh, those are pretty big." And then we get closer. He's like, "Jesus Christ, these are fucking huge. These buildings,
big ass fucking city." Yeah.
You get to see the Sears Tower or whatever the fuck it's called now. It's always gonna be the Sears Tower.
Yeah, it's called the Willis Tower now.
It was pretty cool to see, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I'd never been through Chicago before. Chicago,
pretty big fucking city.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I've never been on the east. Like I've never been to New York or any.
Never been to the Northeast. Well, no, I've never been to. From Virginia on up on the coast. Never been there. But been to Pennsylvania. It's also very fucking rainy, and the trees there are so old.
Hey, I found that. I actually found that place that I delivered to in Los Angeles right outside the port.
Really, Jake? What's it called?
It's called Pro Packing.
Whoa, that was so worth the wait and the time and the effort on your part.
No, that one actually, I found it faster than the place I delivered in San Fran.
Where was that? Marina Del Rey or something?
I think it was Long Beach, right?
It's actually in Wilmington.
I don't know where that is. LA is fucking massive. I never navigated through the whole thing, and I never wanted to.
Yeah, it's a really stressful fucking area.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, it's technically in Wilmington. It's just inside, inland from the port facility.
Long Beach.
West of Long Beach.
Right, but the port facility is Long Beach. Am I correct?
Part
of
Queen
Mary's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the USS Iowa.
Well, now it wasn't there when I was there.
Well, you were just there at the wrong time. You should have gone
I was
back
there
later.
in 2015. I don't know when they moved it there.
Yeah, I think they moved the Iowa there in 18 or 19.
Yeah, because the Queen Mary, and they had this Russian sub that was. I don't like subs. They're fucking oof.
You're not built for a sub. Let's just say that.
Then you're not going to come with me to visit the Cobia later this summer over in Manitowoc. The USS Cobia?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It's a Gato-class submarine that's over in Manitowoc as a museum ship.
Okay, like what era? What fucking style? Like, yeah.
Gato-class is World War II.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a fucking you know this. I'm not a naval historian.
Oh.
Okay, what kind of helmet is he wearing in this fucking picture, Jake? How about that? We'll go that route.
A penis-shaped one.
Yeah, probably. Most of them look like that. But yeah, so it's I mean, I'll go on them because they're cool. I'm just like, I could not fucking live on this. I'd go batshit.
You can only be on it for a limited time.
I'd have to be like sedated 24/7. Like just on like the strongest horse tranquilizers that'll allow me to do my job but still not panic.
Right.
Because yeah, it's oh god. They're I mean they're not even made for they're made for like little dudes who can move really quick and don't take up a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally none of you.
No. No.
I mean, I'm not terribly big or terribly small. I'm
No,
kind of
Mike's average, but he's even too big for a fucking sub. Like they're really cramped.
Yeah.
And like when I saw the shitters, and I saw the little hole, I'm like, there's no way my ass would make that shot. Like I'd probably shit all over the seat, you know.
Your ass is gonna swallow that toilet.
Yeah. We're fucked here. I'm just never gonna be a submariner. I mean, the ones nowadays are a lot bigger and more comfortable, but like, man, back and then the constant just with the fucking diesel engines. My God, the smell, the heat. Ugh.
There's something that I've noticed on every Navy ship that I've ever been on, and that's they all smell the same. It doesn't matter if it was actually a Navy ship or if it was just a ship that, you know, any ocean-going ship, they all smell like lubricating oil and fuel oil and just grease and just ground in sweat.
Salt.
And they all smell the same.
Yep. Yeah, the USS North Carolina it's pretty fucking cool. I've been on there a couple times. That's a big boat. Holy fuck, is that a big boat?
Mm.
Like it's Jake, you know about that ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been on it?
No, but I've walked the decks of the Wisconsin, which is bigger.
Right. Yeah. And we should make a trip down there sometime because Wilmington, the town that it's in, is fucking awesome. It is so fucking cool. It's so historic. It goes back to the early 1600s. That's where they got Blackbeard when he tried to sail around that island. They call it Topsail Island. They call it, but it's Topsail Island because he circled around when the Navy was chasing him or the Brits were chasing him, and he actually would have gotten hidden or he would have been hidden, but his fucking topsail was just a little bit too tall, and the Navy's like, oh, he's right there, let's fucking get him. And so they got him right there, and they blew the shit out of him. But like,
that's awesome.
No, it was a really, really, really historic town. And during the Revolution, there was it changed hands so many times. And then the Brits, they had like this giant fucking house in the middle of the city. I mean, giant house. And the Brits just decided to put all their general staff there. Of course, they had servants, they had tunnels and shit, like they could get out if you know. It was just there's so much history there. It's actually really cheap to stay there too, and it's nice. So, but yeah, that we should go there sometime because the North Carolina is cool, and there's still so many fucking bullet holes and dings and repairs and shit that are really visible. Like there was a 40 millimeter dual 40 millimeter Bofors position, the one that like you stand up in.
Yep.
And it had the chicken plate on there, and there's just fucking it's just riddled with holes still.
Just dings everywhere. Nice.
There's actual holes, so you know somebody dropped right where you're standing.
Right.
You know somebody got killed. And you know at least one person because they got fucked up. But no, it's a really cool boat to go, and they keep good care of it. And
yeah, they actually have a really unique solution to prevent it from rotting out.
Yeah, they have it in that little
with
cove.
The cofferdam.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've seen it. I was like, why would they do that? But it's like, well, it's not going to move. This is where if it sinks, it sinks.
No, they actually have it sitting in mud.
I know they do, but here's the thing: whenever they have a hurricane, it lifts it up, and then it's sitting on water for a while, which is not good for the hull. So. Because they were telling us this because we were just down there in 2018 and we were on the ship right after a huge hurricane had come through. And they said that it's not good because then it moves all the mud from underneath the ship. Yep. And they have to try to scramble and get more mud in there. And they're like, it just sucks. But luckily they don't get hit that hard, but they got hit. And they only got hit like a few days before we got there. You could still smell it. And there's fucking trees down everywhere. There was bugs everywhere. Oh, God.
Yeah, but the North Carolina Museum, they have a unique solution to a problem that all museum ships face, and that's erosion of the hull at the wind water line.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I always leave money when I go there. I leave cash for the restoration because it's like this needs to be because they do maintain the hell out of that ship, and they got a lot of people working on it. I mean, that thing looks like the day it was commissioned, right?
Yeah.
Besides all the
Constant
bullet
maintenance.
holes. But yeah, they like the inside, all the racks and everything, all the quarters, the officers' quarters, which are still really tight, but you get your own little room. The mess hall is really cool.
Was it last summer or was it earlier this year? I missed out on so some group restored an actual World War II landing ship tank, you know, the one that
Yep.
would just drive right up on the beach
The
and
key-
open the
Yep.
doors.
Yep.
Some group actually restored a landing ship tank, a World War II landing ship tank, and they sailed it up the Mississippi, and they actually had it in open for tours in La Crosse for I think 2 weeks, and I missed out on the opportunity to go because I'm always fucking working.
That sucks. Where is it now?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up again.
That's cool though.
Yes, I have been to the USS Yorktown in Charleston. We're talking about the same one. I was really young though, so I don't. I remember how fucking big it was. It's a big boat.
Yep, like I said, I've been to the Wisconsin in Norfolk, and honestly, out of all of the battleships that they have preserved, the Wisconsin has the best presentation to the public. Because you go down this main road in downtown Norfolk, and you go through a gate, and there's the bow of the ship.
Oh, really?
You're looking you're standing on the sidewalk, and you're looking straight up at the bow of the ship.
Jeez.
It's like 40 feet away. You can see it right down the entire street too. It's fucking awesome. But no, those Iowa class battleships are just absolutely fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. The one that's the Iowa class are the ones that movies always depict because they look the coolest.
Yeah.
Because they're so fucking big.
Yeah, they
The tri-turrets and everything.
Wisconsin was in the South Pacific, correct?
All of them were. All four of the Iowas
All
were
the
in the
battleships.
Pacific. All of the Iowas were in the Pacific.
Yeah,
because I know what is the North Carolina its own class or is it another class? Okay, so North Carolina.
There were 3 generations of battleships that were used in World War II, U.S. battleships. There was the dreadnoughts, there was the standards, and then there was the fast battleships.
Mm-hmm.
There were 3 different generations. There was like 3 or 4 classes of ships per generation. So like the standard class battleships included, they included the oh fuck. I was just looking this up earlier this week too. Like the Pennsylvania class, which was the Pennsylvania and the Arizona, the West Virginia class, and the Tennessee class, I believe, were the 3 of the standard battleships, and they were all iterative improvements on the previous class.
Yeah. What was the Iowa the last one?
Yeah, the Iowa was the last of the fast battleships. So the fast battleships were the North Carolina class, the South Dakota class, and the Iowa class. And again, those were all iterative improvements on the previous class. The fast battleships, they sacrificed some of their armor protection for obviously top speed. They were called fast battleships for a reason. The North Carolinas, I believe, were the first of the fast battleships. They were also the first battleships to mount 16-inch guns.
Those are big fucking guns, man.
Yeah, the North Carolina and the South Dakota mounted the 16-inch 45 caliber guns, and the Iowas mounted the 16-inch 50 caliber guns. So they were when you're talking naval rifles, a caliber is the barrel length in it's a multiple to measure barrel length in multiples of the bore diameter. So when you're talking a 16-inch 45 caliber gun, like on the North Carolina, it's 45 times 16 inches to get the barrel length in inches.
720 inches, so that's divided by 12, 60 feet.
And the Iowas are 16-inch 50 caliber guns. So I think those are 800 inch.
Yeah, 800 something inch, and so it's 66 feet,
Yep.
66.66 feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
So they're about 6 feet longer, but that's a difference.
But that's and they fired the same shell,
Yep.
the same
Yeah, but it's
60-inch
just more
shell,
velocity, more
but you
distance.
have a lot more velocity out of it.
Yep.
And a lot more armor penetration out of it.
Yep.
The Iowas were also longer in overall length because they had an 8-to-1 beam to length ratio, or length to beam ratio. They were 8 times longer than they were wide, and that's the perfect length to beam ratio for hydrodynamic efficiency.
So
That's why they were able to do 35 knots,
Hmm.
which is like 42 miles an hour or something like that.
it's pretty fast for something that fucking big.
Yeah,
And
for
heavy.
something that weighs 50, 60,000 tons.
Yep. I mean, it's just you don't realize how big. Like even the North Carolina, I haven't been on an Iowa class, but yeah, we'll do some old military photos in a bit. I didn't realize how big because I'd never been on a battleship. I've been on the carrier, right, the Yorktown. Fucking probably the biggest ship I've ever. Well, the Queen Mary was big, but the Yorktown's bigger. And I was like, Jesus, man, like it's like 150, 200 yards long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, because the North Carolina I think is 100 and I don't know how long it is. It's long, but it's anyway, when you go on a battleship, I didn't realize how fucking wide they were. The
Yeah.
North Carolina class, they're really wide.
Yep. They were all so I know the Iowas were all like 108 feet wide. They were all built to just barely fit through the Panama Canal, which is 110 feet wide, the old canal.
Yeah.
So a lot of ships at the time were built specifically to make sure they would fit through the Panama Canal. Because most of the U.S.'s shipyards for actually new construction during World War II and even for quite a while after were all on the East Coast, but the primary naval threat was on the West Coast.
Yeah, so they had to go through the Panama Canal
Yep.
to get there. Yep. But
I'm sure you have seen here's the photo of the Iowa class battleship. I don't remember which one it was, but it's firing its turrets, and it's taken from like an aerial view, and you can see the water just getting pushed aside.
Oh yeah.
And the ship is actually getting pushed back too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually see the wake of the ship coming around the bow.
Yeah.
Yep.
As the ship's getting pushed sideways.
No, I didn't make it out to Fort Sumter. We were down there, and I got sicker than shit, so missed that. But I did get to see the Yorktown, Rainbow Row, Charleston, Battery Park. Fucking downtown Charleston's really cool. Very small, but very cool.
So I'm just pulling this image off of Google Street View.
Are you gonna share that thing, Mike?
What, the photo I was talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can share it right now. I have it pulled up. Yeah.
Yeah, share it.
1 second.
I'm gonna throw this picture up in the group chat on Messenger.
Okay.
So I just pulled this off of Google Street View right now. This is the Wisconsin and how it's presented to the arriving public.
Oh yeah, that boat's getting fucking yep.
Zoom in on the conning tower. That's either Iowa or Wisconsin. So there's a couple of ways that you can tell. If you look at the 20 millimeter gun tub on the very bow, on the very tip of the bow.
Right.
The Iowa and the Wisconsin were the only two of the four that didn't have that 20 millimeter gun tub cut down to follow the lines of the hull on the bow, the front.
Interesting.
So if you're ever trying to figure out which one of the Iowas you're looking at, that's one of the. New Jersey is easily the most recognizable of the four because the upper superstructure is completely different from when it was recommissioned during Vietnam. It's T-shaped, where this picture that I just posted, you can see the Wisconsin's got kind of a triangular shape to its upper superstructure.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, on the New Jersey, that triangular box isn't there, and it just has two rectangular wings that just stick straight out from the sides.
Okay.
And then New Jersey or Wisconsin and Iowa are the only ones that have the 20 millimeter gun tub extending beyond the nose of the ship.
Yeah, Mike, go to the bow.
Yeah, yeah, that way. I believe that picture is Iowa, if I remember correctly from seeing this picture numerous times.
Okay. I don't know too much about like Iowa class and stuff like that. The ones I'm familiar with are more of ones that were like used in Europe, like New York class ships and such like that. So yes, like a lot of these huge fucking ones.
I find there to be a little bit of irony because the USS Texas is a New York class battleship.
It is, yeah, USS Texas, which was there for Normandy, and yeah, that's a New York class battleship. Good stuff.
You want to show Jake's little picture in.
Yeah, sure. Pull it up.
You're in charge of pictures tonight.
Looks like it. Present, share screen.
USS Montana was never being built, Mr. Hood.
Hmm.
The USS Montana was planned, but it was never even laid down.
So this is Jake's photo that he sent.
Yep. That's literally just pulled off of Google Maps. That's on a street in Norfolk, looking right at the bow of the Wisconsin. And that blue archway is the visitor entrance to Nauticus, the museum that Wisconsin is a part of.
I see.
So you walk through that gate and you're literally looking at the nose of the ship.
Oh man! Just the other day, I saw a video of some ship, some giant fucking ship, and a tugboat was pressing up against the side of it, and the ship dropped its anchor, and the anchor hit the freaking tugboat.
Oh no!
It didn't sink it. It didn't sink it. But the guy that was on the back of the tugboat, and he like got catapulted off of it. It was insane.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh, those guys that work tugboats, they're fucking tough as nails.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's a job I would never want either. I think they get paid pretty well, don't they?
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
I on another Discord server, I actually have an acquaintance there who he lives in Maine, and he just got promoted to the second mate of his boat. He works an ocean-going tugboat working the Gulf Coast, pushing around oil barges and shit like that on the Gulf Coast. And he spends like 2 weeks, maybe 3 on the boat, and then he flies home to Maine and spends a couple weeks at home. Then he flies back to Texas and the Gulf Coast.
You want to share that video, Mike?
Yeah, I just pulled it up. I'm doing it right now.
You weren't on the stream, but like you're still. I'm just having you down in the stage area.
Yeah.
So,
right. There we go. You want?
Oh yeah, that window needs to get closed. It's raining in my truck, and my bed's starting to get wet.
Told you got storms going your way.
Wait for Jake. I want him to see this.
Yeah. Oh, this is an old one too.
Yeah, it looks like 2005 or something.
Yeah, one of the OG Facebook YouTube videos.
Yeah. Yeah, here we go.
What am I looking at? Oh yeah, that's yep.
Right here.
Oh shit!
And then there's the guy right down there.
Dude, what the fuck?
He's on the back of the boat right there. And then
somebody got fired for that.
Oh my god, that was nasty.
Somebody got fired for that shit. They're lucky that boat didn't sink.
Oh my god. It probably did. It just probably. Oh my god, that was bad.
Yeah, I remember I saw that. I saw that like in a list of like anchor accidents, because you see a lot of videos where like anchors get loose from ships and the chain is like going fucking crazy, and it's
I
like
don't know what the fucking dog out he's
smoking and shit. Yeah, and that was when I was like, oh my fuck, dude, that's insane. Apparently the I found out tugboats are built like fucking tanks, so they can withstand stuff like that.
They are fucking tough boats. There's no doubt about that. Those boats are built. So there's actually a tugboat in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin that I've toured. I don't remember the name of the boat, but it was originally built to pull logs across Lake Superior.
Yeah.
And when World War II started, they basically conscripted that boat into the Navy, and they used it on transatlantic voyages for hauling shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that boat spent some time over in Europe and running back and forth across the Atlantic.
It's amazing how much boats like that can travel.
That was actually a really big fucking boat too.
Yeah.
Let me look up the name of it because I don't remember. It's only been like 10 years since I was out there. God, I need to take more time off from work and start traveling again. I did more traveling when I had less money.
Live off the land.
No, not even. I would just budget for it.
Yeah.
I just let the dog out. He's outside frolicking around. And
Who let the dog out?
Who let the dogs out? Jesus Christ, I haven't thought of that song in a long
He
time.
runs outside.
That's
It's
a
barely
fucking
raining.
flashback
And
right
he
there.
turns around like he's gonna melt and looks at me like I was like, "God, no! You need to go take a shit immediately." So he's out there frolicking right now.
Frolicking and shitting all over the place.
At least he isn't frolicking in the shit.
He probably fucking would, that dog.
No, I don't think Cody would. Cody's a good boy. He's dopey but he's friendly and he's not that stupid. He just wants hugs. That's all it is.
I know, and I'm not like, it's funny because I'm like super lovey-dovey with cats. I'll pick up cats and hold them and stuff. I'm not that way really with dogs. And so anytime like I'm over at Mike's place, his dog comes up and like tries to get on me. I'm just like, get away. Get away, you fucking thing.
And I just prefer cats over dogs. Honestly, man, I told Mike this when I was up at his place last weekend. His dog is one of the few dogs that belong to somebody else that I actually like.
That's a rarity.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a rarity. I don't
usually like most people's dogs either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean he's half hound, which means he's like super stubborn, does what he wants. You have to you don't have to beat him with a 2x4, but you need like a paper towel roll, which is it. I put that thing in my hand and he does whatever I say.
So he knows. Have you ever had to like hit him with it? Like,
yeah, when he shits inside because he can't come and sleep with us, he spite shits, and I'll have to clean it up. And as I'm cleaning it up, I just tell him bad puppy, and he knows what's coming. And so I wind up like I'm gonna beat the fuck out of him, and I just go bop 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 like a few times on the nose. And you'd think I was killing him. He just cowers like this, and I'm like, "You're fine. You're not gonna die." But I mean, well, here's the thing: is Sophie worked him over real good one time when I think it was when we were shooting Reveille. I think because I came back and she's like, "We had an incident, but we're good now."
Oh,
and
shit.
Because apparently he did something, and she just lost her shit with a paper towel roll, and so now he cowers. And I'm like, "Thanks, you have now traumatized our animal, and he's gonna forever be scarred." So that's the running joke. But
nice.
All right, what do we got here?
Well, this is not Navy, but it's a series of photos actually from this that I found, and not really my wheelhouse, but I thought
That's
you guys.
Korean War.
Yeah, I thought you could take a stab at it.
Is that an M1C?
I can't tell if it's a C or a D. It's probably a C, yeah.
I thought the D had the gigantic flash hider.
Yeah, so that's a C.
So yeah, I saw this. I immediately knew Korean War, but I thought like it has a lot of kind of interesting stuff to look at.
Yeah, those are most likely Army because they're wearing the 40. Yeah, they're wearing 43 double buckles. Marines are still wearing leggings in Korea.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, it was like a pride. I don't know what the fuck it was, but they were using leggings. Yeah. Hey,
and that's an M44 laying on the ground.
What was that? Go down.
M44.
Yeah, it is. That's probably type. Well, yeah, it's an M44. So go up to the guy right behind him, right behind the China. Or that's a Korean guy. So go down to the rifle. This is something you never see in movies.
With his bayonet mounted?
Yeah, when you're doing prisoner transport of any kind or searching, you have a bayonet on.
Oh, really?
And back in that day, yeah.
Mhm.
Even sometimes, like in the beginning of Iraq and Afghanistan, they'd throw bayonets on if they had a bunch of detainees and shit.
Okay, just in case someone,
just in case someone gets squirrely. So,
right. Huh.
Yeah. So that's a really cool thing. They're just in the process of searching them. That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
We used to stack your bodies and use them as sandbags.
Don't butcher that quote. We stacked fucks like you 12 high in Korea. Used you as sandbags.
That's the quote. Yeah.
Yeah. We stacked fucks like you 12 high in Korea. God damn.
I love the shit right after he says that, the shot to the guy to the kid's face after he says that to him.
Oh yeah.
How would you respond to a fucking something like that?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is then so okay, we got bayonet guy right here,
Yep.
ripping some shit off this guy.
Yeah, it looks like a rice bag. If I didn't know any better. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And he's got his rifle sitting right by him. Why didn't you kick that fucker away?
He figured he wasn't gonna do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you got some hefty guns behind you, and you got a bayonet. And that guy's about fucking a quarter or a third of his size.
Yeah, he's a whole head taller than him.
I know, Jesus. But
so, and then the same guys again.
Yeah, this is a cool kind of series, like
I know, right?
Sequence rather, not series. Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing.
What was off to the left in the background?
It's a guy walking away.
Okay.
Yeah.
In some kind of hut or whatever over here.
Yeah.
That's probably a mansion.
And is there, you can see like, I like how he's like, in this picture he has all this stuff on. Then in like these two, you see that shit is on the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
They're taking all that. He has a bunch of like belts on it or whatever. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's got to be a mansion in the background. It still has a roof.
Yeah. It looks pretty fucking rural too, so.
It's the mayor's house.
Yeah, I love how many fucking grenades they've got on them. Jesus.
Yeah.
Just oodles of grenades.
Yeah.
Just hanging.
Very cool. So that's all I got for Korea.
That's fucking sweet, man.
Back before the army decided that privates didn't need to carry grenades.
Yeah, well, that was up until very recent.
Yeah. And then I got a couple more. Couple. You'll immediately know what this is, what these are.
Will we now?
I think you will. If you don't, I'll be stunned.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I love the 50 cal on the bow.
Yep.
In a turret.
I know, like those guys had brass balls. The fucking brown water Navy.
Mm.
Damn, those guys had balls.
Why don't you tell me what it was like in a riverboat?
Yeah, were you there? Laos mission. You were headed towards Laos.
I've heard that riverine boats and stuff like that, and it's absolutely sucked because you're just exposed like all hell.
You have to it's kind of like spotting IEDs nowadays. You have to fucking have your head on the swivel, and if something doesn't look right, you got to be ready. Unfortunately, with like when you're driving in a vehicle, you can stop. With these things, if you stop, you're a way easier target. You're fucked. So you have to get on the guns immediately. You have to know how to shoot while you're moving. Oh my god, those guys were. Oof! I would not want to have done that.
The boat itself it's plastic, right? It's like made out of some kind of plastic material.
I actually
fiberglass,
don't know.
I think.
What? Yeah, fiberglass.
I think they were some kind of early fiberglass composite.
Okay, yeah, because they weren't. I don't think they were like heavily armored or anything.
No, not at all.
No. Just love how they've got machine guns pointing in every
direction. Yeah,
and it's 50 cals too.
Fucking recoilless down here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What is that on the rear drive? Is that an M60? Yeah, that's an M60 on that
Right
rear
there.
mount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an
Yep, that's an
M60.
M60. They got a 50 on the front. They got one on each side. They got a 30 on the stern, and they got a recoilless rifle that they can throw up if they need to. That's got some. That boat's got some fucking oomph to it.
Yeah. The
until it
firepower.
takes an RPG.
That's a recoilless right there, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the guy standing there is holding the camera too. He's smiling and holding the camera.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's happy.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
wouldn't
now.
you be?
Same kind of thing.
Oh, my favorite, my absolute fucking favorite.
What, the M60?
The fucking M60.
Yeah.
Best
Great.
30 caliber machine gun for dismounted infantry operations ever.
He's
Why isn't
ready
the
to
charging
shoot.
handle forward?
Because he's Navy. Leave him alone.
Should it be forward?
Yeah, it should be forward.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got a gas mask on.
Does he?
Yeah, isn't that what that is?
It's an M17, right?
Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. I wonder why.
I don't know. Maybe there was a.
Yeah, because they've got theirs on
They
too.
all, yeah,
Yeah. Maybe it's a drill. I don't know.
could be.
Could be.
Yeah. But I thought, real clear color photos, really nice.
Oh hell yeah, these are great.
Yeah.
And these guys never get. There's never been a movie made about them. There's never been.
Well, thank God, because it would be a John Kerry movie at this point.
Well, yeah, and Apocalypse Now, but that was a. That's not. It doesn't show like the actual job that these guys did.
That's as close as you can get. But I always say Apocalypse Now is kind of like a war fantasy in a way.
It's a surreal kind of.
Right.
Yeah, it's a mind fuck more than anything. But
all I wanted out after watching Apocalypse Now was the last 3 hours of my life back.
Oh, you're not a fan, huh?
No,
I'm not either. It was just really.
It was not a good movie.
That's one of those films. That's one of those movies where if you're a film guy like myself, that like people revere that movie. I can go back and forth on it.
I can see the artistic value in it.
Yeah,
but it was not a good movie.
It
was not entertaining.
If you want a more entertaining, more interesting, fucking crazier story than Apocalypse Now, research the making of that movie.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, it's insane.
Fucking Marlon Brando and his bullshit.
Yeah. Well, that's just one little piece of it. But yeah, nuts.
I need to have my feet powdered in my trailer every morning before we go shoot.
Yeah, well, and he was fat as fuck too. So every wide shot of him is actually not him; it's a stunt double.
Yeah,
he's fat as fuck too. That's awesome.
He was.
Yeah.
The only times he's in the movie is when the camera's like this close on him. So.
Yeah.
The only good scene in that movie was Robert Duvall's scene.
Oh my God, you're one of those.
Kilgore.
That was the only entertaining scene in the whole movie. The rest of it was like pulling teeth.
I don't know. The USO chicks that one bad. At least get some tits out of it.
Yeah, that's nice. There's a deleted scene where they fuck them.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Someone said here that movie was made in the Philippines, was it? Yes, it was, and it was during the time of a bunch of fucking rebels and shit. And the helicopters were actually owned that are used in the movie were owned by the Filipino military, and many times during the movie got called off to actually go blow up real targets right in the middle of filming.
Authentic.
I know, right? And yeah, someone said here too, yeah, Martin Sheen had a heart attack in the middle of filming. Yes, That's true. Again, the making of that movie is crazy. Well, that's all I got for photos as of right now.
Let me see if I got any new ones. Pictures. Military history. I've already shown that one. I think I've shown all these.
I can find some.
Oh, I got a really cool one.
All right.
This is a recent one. We'll see if you guys can identify this.
Okay.
Wait, let me see. Yeah, okay.
What in the fuck? This is from a recent conflict?
No.
Okay, so this is old. You said this is recent. When
No, I said I acquired this picture recently.
Oh, okay. So this is
since I last shared.
okay.
Okay, so that guy's got a flamethrower on his back.
So,
Eastern European, maybe?
No.
are they Swiss?
Yeah, you saw the fucking chat, Mike. Don't cheat.
No, I didn't see the chat. No.
Yes, they are Swiss. Yes.
Okay, I was looking up the helmet. I'm like, Swiss helmet. What's it called? M18. That's what.
Yep.
It was. Yeah,
exactly. Yep.
I noticed that.
So this is probably late 60s, early 70s.
I was gonna say, is this 1960s?
Yeah, it's 60s or early 70s.
Okay, I don't know what that barrel is that's over that guy's shoulder.
It's a Strimgewehr 57.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. So, yeah, like Zeno said, it's not a flamethrower. This is a Flammenwerfer. It werfs Flammen.
Yes.
But yeah, isn't that a fucking sweet picture?
Yeah. What kind of camo is that?
It's that's Taz. I think. Did they have a Taz 58? Let me see really quick.
I looked up Taz 57.
Yeah, 57. I think it is. So that's probably in the mid 60s then.
Yeah. Very cool. That's a I've always kind of liked that helmet. It's a cool looking helmet.
It's a cool looking
horrors
helmet.
those eyes have seen.
Yeah, I know. They're Swiss, dude. The horrors of getting leave,
financial crimes.
Yeah. Well, there
Horrors
you go.
of being on the western side of the wall.
The horrors of never fighting actual wars.
The horrors of being smarter than everyone and hoarding their money instead of fighting them so you can get richer.
Not just hoarding their money, but hoarding everybody else's money too.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They've got, about that whole thing with the gold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that if somebody goes to claim it, they'll get charged with war crimes. And so they just have it indefinitely, and then they're going to come up with a date where they think that all members of the Nazi party are dead, and they're just going to probably melt it down and then recast it, and then it's theirs.
That's nice.
And that's like today's it's like billions of dollars worth of gold that they stored there. So yeah, it's cool. Let me see if I got any other ones that I've acquired since we last did this.
He's got a bayonet for his Flammenwerfer. We call that a shish kebab.
I mean, yeah, man's got to eat.
All's fair in love and war.
How is this all in World War One?
The famous World War II photo of a German lighting his cigarette off the torch of the Flammenwerfer.
Yep.
It's like, well, whatever works, I guess.
And that folder got fucked up. I gotta go rectify that. I showed that last time. I think I've shown this one, but it's too much fun. I don't know if Jake's seen this. I know you've seen it, Mike. I think you have, at least.
It's going to be the Fallschirmjäger one again?
No.
Okay.
One of my favorites of all time.
Oh, that, yeah. We try to figure out how they took that photo. Yeah.
He had to jump really fucking high, and they had to take a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
I guarantee they wasted a whole roll of film on that son of a bitch, but it was worth it.
It was worth it, and it's dangerous as hell, too. Not only have a knife in his hand, he's jumping in the air. He has a fucking scythe underneath him.
Well, and yeah, he is jumping up because you see his E-tool flapping up.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. So yeah, and his gas mask hands jumping up too. So
could have easily just like impaled his ball sack, but during the
oh yeah. I wonder how many takes that took. That's freaking hilarious.
Soldiers are gonna be soldiers, no matter what time frame or nation.
Yeah, I think I've shown that picture before of that guy, the American soldier, where I don't know where they were at. He's got a fucking bazooka. The guy's got a bazooka on his shoulder, and he puts it up to his dick.
Oh, that's the Panzer Shrek, yeah, where he's
the Panzer, yeah, or the captured one where he's just like,
he just has his dick.
Oh God, it's so funny.
That happened. That probably happened at least once with a 16-inch gun on one of the battleships. At least once.
Oh yeah, at least one picture was taken of that. Had
Yeah.
to have. Let me see if I got any old ones.
And it probably started off with somebody with a 20 millimeter, and then 40 millimeter guy was like, "Nope, look at this." Then the 5-inch guys.
There's also the famous photo taken along the Atlantic Wall of a German soldier with his feet sticking out of the barrel of one of those coastal guns.
Oh yeah,
he climbed inside it. Yeah.
Here's a fun one.
That a Steyr AUG?
That's an AUG, but that's a Pag's helmet with U.S. Specialist rank on it.
Is it a Pasget?
Yeah, that's a Pasget.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure? Want to look at the chin cup really quick?
He's still. What the fuck am I looking at?
There you go. Also, what the fuck's the guy on the left wearing?
No idea.
A steel helmet.
M1 steel helmet?
Yeah.
The fuck am I looking at?
That's why I have this picture saved.
So yeah, Steyr AUG. I don't know what he has some kind of patch. I don't know what that is.
So Jake, you see now that it's not really a Pasget?
Yeah.
I thought that said Hitler for a second on his helmet. I was like, what?
But it's got a specialist insignia on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a steel helmet for sure, if I've ever seen one.
M1.
Is this French Foreign Legion?
Nope.
I have no clue. I'm picking up just little things here and there. There's some kind of gun in the background behind that guy's head. I can't see what that is either. But zoom in on that barrel right there. Looks almost like an M4 or something.
No, that's an AUG.
This is another AUG.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
No idea.
It's the Austrian Bundesheer.
Oh, okay.
He probably traded that with a U.S. guy, like a U.S. advisor. He probably traded that. And then the guy behind him has got this guy right here. That's the correct helmet cover. And this is actually a French F2 clone. They call it something in Austria, but essentially a French F2. They're made in France for them. That's the correct helmet cover that they use nowadays. That I have no idea. I cannot explain this. It must have just been a trade. I don't know why he was authorized or how he was authorized to wear that. And then that's still an M75. So this must have been right around 99.
Okay.
Late 90s, early 2000s, my guess.
Wasn't there a reforger mission in the late 90s?
No, 2000.
Reforger exercise?
But Austria wasn't there. That's the thing. They don't go to that shit because they're neutral. So, but we still send advisors there once in a while just to kind of keep up relations and shit. And so he probably was like, oh, it's US. It's hard to get here. And just grabbed it and put it over his F2 because you see it doesn't fit very well. Like it's not made for that specific helmet. It's probably too small. But whatever, he's probably just like, I'm fucking cool. I'm wearing an American helmet cover. Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, isn't that fucking interesting though? That's the first thing I was looking at too. I'm like, oh, they're Austrian. Wait a second. What the fuck's going on here? Never ceases to amaze.
Good shit.
Oh, fuck. Let's see if we got any other good ones. Oh, I don't know if I've shown this one.
A good specialist will advise. A great specialist will be a dental.
Exactly. 100%. All right, so this one's interesting. You guys, why don't you tell me what this is? Because I don't know.
The ill-fitting helmet.
Yeah, it's a little small. You should have one size up.
Is this some kind? Well, what the fuck are those guys? But what is the fucking like dark turquoise helmet thing? Right behind the guy with the ill-fitting helmet. They're German, or no, they're not.
No, they're not. Blue, yellow, and red.
Yeah.
That's one of those. Belgian?
Nope.
Romanian.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, what is it again? It's Romanian. Yeah, I just got, yeah.
They're still, to this day, wearing those fucking shitty M73 para helmets on their practice jumps.
Is that what that turquoise thing is?
Yep. It doesn't have the net on it, but yeah, they use all sorts of they use whatever they can get.
Okay.
But yeah, they wore DPM until recently. Yeah, and they're obviously with you know what unit that is, Mike?
No, that's it's not airborne, is it? I mean, it's not. But I don't know what the
173rd.
Okay.
Yep.
Because they got the fucking the hook thing, you know.
Yep. And
don't you know your Big and Rich song, Mike?
What Big and Rich song is that?
The one about the 173rd Airborne?
I don't listen to fag music, so I wouldn't know.
That song's only like 15 years old.
I stopped listening to country in like 2002.
Thank fucking God, oof.
But anyway, no. So these guys are stationed in Italy. They probably either had these guys come down to Italy or they went to Romania, and they're just doing like it's like a coalition jump. Like they do that shit all the time. Like, and then the Romanian guys will get if they do their 5 jumps with the Americans, they'll get the American jump wings to wear on their uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they're in Romania, these American guys will get Romanian jump wings that they can wear on their Class A's. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a reciprocal thing. These guys do it all the fucking time. That's why you see like American like people that are stationed in Europe specifically. A lot of them will have like foreign jump wings on their right breast pocket, like above it.
Okay,
that's what those are because we know a guy, or the guy I was talking about a lot he had like 6 or 7 different foreign jump wings. So.
Damn.
And then if you really want to piss off the airborne troops, you ask them the last time they were actually relevant in a conflict.
Yeah, I'm like, well, you just ask them where their mustard stain is. That's all you do is just, where's your mustard stain? You fucking leg, what the fuck? You ain't even fucking qualified, man. Fucking, well, hey, I'm not dumb enough to jump out of a fucking airplane, so yeah. You guys do the same shit we do on the ground, except we don't have to do dumb shit like you do to get there. We just drive.
Knowing you would never get even close to jumping out of an airplane.
I wanted to when I was in basic, and then I was like, God damn, I'm glad I didn't do that. Like, was it really worth a little piece of metal on your fucking chest? I mean, yes, but like, man,
I have a cousin who washed out of airborne school at Benning because he broke his legs.
Yeah,
both of them.
Here, that's pretty common.
Didn't land right.
Just hairline stress fractures in his femurs.
Yeah, but didn't land right or something.
Don't know. I don't know the details, but
Jesus.
all I know is that he didn't graduate jump school because he got stress fractures in his legs.
Well, at least he tried. Yeah, that would have scared the fuck out of me. Like, but I mean, I know guys who love it. They're just like junkies of it. Like, oh, it's fucking such a rush. It's so awesome. I'm like, yeah, just drive or walk. But
why not?
Yeah,
I got injured plenty jumping out of the back of a 5-ton. I don't need to jump out of an airplane to get injured.
You have not lived until you've sat in the floor of a 5-ton because you're a private with another guy in between your legs, and then you've got some guy's legs up here. Your legs go completely fucking numb. Your back is broken. And then they tell you to get the fuck out. And so you slide out thinking that your legs are going to be working. You jump down onto the 5-ton. They don't work. They buckle. You eat shit on your face. And then
somebody jumps on top of you.
Yeah, or then they kick you out of the way and you say, get the fuck moving. You're trying to crawl because your legs aren't working. You're like, oh, you're like Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. Fucking God.
God,
Yeah,
I'm glad I
it's-
didn't join the military.
I had that happen. I had that happen at Shelby on my spool up to my first deployment. Except I was the driver of the Humvee, and my legs went numb.
Well, yeah, I
We get
mean,
back.
they're not
We
made
get
for
back.
us.
We get back to cantonment, and we got to get out of the trucks and start cleaning up and recovery ops from the training. And I open up the driver's door. I go to get out of the Humvee, and I just fucking
shit.
eat right on my face.
I mean, that when your legs buckle like that, you don't just fall; you eat shit.
I couldn't pick my feet up to get over the door sill of the Humvee.
That's why,
because my legs were numb. I literally could have stabbed a knife into my thighs and not felt it.
There was one time after we got back, you were out already. We were at AT in 2011, and we were at a range all fucking day. And then we pack into an LMTV, and I was getting on the floor. I don't remember who. I think it was like Draves or somebody's like, no, you get the bench. They're like, these new guys can sit on the floor. You did it already. And I'm like, so they're like, there's like E4s that are new that are on the floor. Like, what the fuck? And I'm sitting up on the bench, and I'm like, cool, I'm going to sleep. It's like 2 a.m. I'm like, fuck this is awesome. So I just, but yeah, it was fucking great. And but yeah, I mean, getting out of the back of a 5-ton, it just, Jonesy knows he's been there, and it's just like, ugh. But I mean, what would you rather do? Break your spine and break your legs and eat shit on the dirt, or walk? It's your choice.
It's a hard one to choose.
It is. It's hard to choose. Like,
yeah.
And then in the airborne, yeah, you might have a medic jumping with you, but you don't know if the medic's going to get injured when he hits the ground or not.
Oh, exactly. Then you're fucked. Well, I mean, everybody knows basic CLS and shit like that, but I mean,
yeah, but if somebody
you don't know how to use most of the shit in the aid bag. That's the thing, is the medic does.
But if somebody breaks their fucking leg on the jump and the medic gets hurt on the jump, well, who's going to take care of who?
Yeah, there you go. But
and now on top of that, you're technically behind enemy lines and surrounded, so there's no fucking evac.
No,
you're
not your position. Yeah,
you're not sky hooking your way out of there.
Yeah, so you get to carry them
and their gear.
And their gear. So,
and your gear.
Yeah, you guys have fun with that, airborne. We'll walk and break our spines slowly over time.
Yep. And we'll always have a truck to throw our shit on if we get injured too badly.
Yep. That was nice. Like when we were going from one place to another, and they're like, all right, you guys can either ride or you can just throw all your shit in the back and do a light march with no ruck. Always the shit went in the back of the truck and we walked. Like, I don't give a fuck how far I have to walk if I just have to have my fucking my vest on with my gear and my weapon. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll walk however long you want as long as I don't have to wear that goddamn ruck.
Right.
So that's what we would do. We just always choose throw our shit in the back. They're like, all right, we'll see you there.
Yeah. Walking was always faster than the truck anyway.
Well, not on the hardball.
No, not on hardball, but almost always.
On a dirt road? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because you just get going and you're like, I feel good. I'm loosening up and I'm waking up, you know?
Yeah.
Drink water while you're doing it. Yeah, it's funny, those little choices like that you don't really think about anymore, because you're like, well, I can, if I really want to, I can just throw my shit in my car and just go for a light hike. I don't have to make time or anything, you know? It's really casual. But yeah, it's just funny how the stupid little things like that we had to make decisions on. But
Jonesy, we did an air assault and a guy broke his ankle. It was horrible. Yeah, I bet.
Dude, you should hear about that shit. That was yeah. He
There's
told me a little
story
bit
there.
about that. Yeah, he told me a little bit about that. It was not a good time for any of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just poorly executed bad leadership, and we'll just leave it at that.
Let me guess. Somebody wanted a fucking medal for. No, we did a combat air assault.
Something like that, yeah.
Tailgate jump probably would have been just as effective.
What?
A tailgate jump probably would have been just as effective.
Maybe. Or just don't go there. If I remember correctly, that's a place they didn't have to go. They just did. I think it's the same story, but we'll let him confirm or deny. But yeah, it was glad I wasn't with him. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
But yeah. Fuck. Is it still raining there, Jake?
Yep.
Cool.
I actually had to close the windows on that side of the truck because it was
I know
coming in.
we saw you. We saw you.
Like the foot of my bed soaked.
Well, it'll dry.
Yeah.
Just turn the heat on, it's nice and cool out, so fucking I'm gonna check the radar really quick and see what you got going towards. Oh yeah, you got a lot of shit headed your way still.
Yeah, it keeps the air nice and cool, makes it easier to sleep.
Absolutely, and the sound too, like the pitter patter. It's nice.
Oh, I absolutely love hearing the rain on the roof of the truck. One of my favorite things to fall asleep to.
Man, it's gonna be raining pretty much all fucking night.
Good.
For both of us, yeah. So that's really good.
That means it's also going to be. That means it's also going to be cloudy all day tomorrow, which is even better because I got to drive east first thing in the morning.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the sun.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice, but yeah, it's fucking gorgeous. Like, yeah, when Mike was here last summer, I think I told you this. He was like stepping on the grass; it was all crunchy and shit. He's like, "Damn, it's like out."
Was bad.
He's like, "Damn, it's like out here, out in Idaho."
Yeah,
yeah, fucking A.
Last summer was bad.
Well, and then the thing is, we go down to do that thing in Ohio. We go from, both of us come from like dry, and it was not that hot last summer. That's the thing. Right. It was like 80, 85 tops and not humid at all because of the wildfires. And so I'm sitting there, I was doing like ruck marches and shit to prepare for it and everything and getting a little bit in shape. And we get down to Ohio, Southern Ohio. It's basically Kentucky. And we step out of the vehicle and it's just like you hear the cicadas and shit. And I'm like, oh, here we go. And you take that first breath, you're like, oh God, this is going to suck. And then it starts downpouring for about 15 minutes, gets more humid, gets hot as fuck, downpours again. And it's like, this
and
is
then
really,
the sun comes out.
That's what I mean. It bakes everything.
Yeah.
And then it was really bad for them down there. Because the jet stream had nowhere to go. It would hit the smoke and then it would just kind of bounce off. You could see like how it was working. So and then there was some nasty storms while we were down there.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad and a lot of rain. And we're out in like freaking, chest high grass. It's all soaking wet and everything. It was just like, ugh.
Yeah, it was gnarly. It was the first time I've ever seen fireflies.
Really?
In person. Like in person. No, we don't have them here now.
They must like humid areas.
I guess so. Yeah, I've never seen them before.
There's an old boomerism that says that when the fireflies are out, the venison's good eating.
Interesting.
What the fuck does that even mean?
It means you can go poaching because all the fawns have dropped.
Oh my God. Fuck. Oh God. Fucking boomers, man. Who'd you hear that from? A boomer?
Yeah, a boomer.
Nah,
my dad said it my whole fucking life.
Your dad? Oh.
The fireflies are out. The venison's good eating.
Jesus Christ.
Have you ever seen that video where it's the mountain, like people that live up in the mountains, like Appalachian people, like talking about their fucking slang and all their different
some of them, yeah, like West Virginia and shit.
Right, yeah. Just funny because they call squirrels boomers for some reason.
I mean, basically, you think about it, there's so many of them.
That's true, yeah. There's so many of them. They can be irritating but kind of cute at the same time.
Well, the cute part, I don't know about that, but
in an endearing way.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, it's not all of them. It's just the ones that are bad are fucking bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's just like our generation, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can what, Jonesy? Fuck, you just talking to yourself?
I can.
What, he's just like Christ sitting there like, what? I'm just trying to listen here. These guys are speaking proper English. I don't understand most of what they're saying, but hey, I'm going to give it a shot.
Why isn't Jonesy come on? He's come on before.
Yeah, I mean he's always welcome. Do you want to?
He might be with his kids.
I can interpret
Oh,
for you.
he can interpret that shit. Jonesy, do you want to come on? Or are you busy? I like the way you talk. Fucking yeah. I mean, West Virginia people are super nice, but I'm sorry, Eastern Kentucky on over, like Ohio and everything, like that whole region, very difficult to understand. Some of them, very difficult, but they're super nice. I've never met a total asshole from down there yet. There's always a chance, but you know, they've always been super nice. Super. If I just ask them, I've just learned I just ask them to slow down, and then they slow down, and I can understand them.
You know, one thing that I've noticed is that people in general in areas of the country that you can't survive on your own very easily generally are a lot nicer people.
Yeah, because they have a community and they all help each other, and they're all just nice, or they're more relaxed because
they have to be. They
well, yeah,
understand
exactly.
They understand that you can't make it by yourself, no matter how hard you want to.
Yeah, and
that's why I hate cities.
Yeah, cities are just everybody's on their own. Just everybody for their own self. Everybody else provides your life for you. You know, it's so much more stressful being around like people in the city and just cities in general than it is like going out to backwoods Appalachia and trying to talk to these people who have like half their teeth missing if they're lucky, and you know, wearing bibs, walking around barefoot. I'd rather be around those people than most people in cities.
Yeah. Speaking of people walking around barefoot, I went to basic training one time. When I went to basic training,
you went to basic training one time? Really?
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah, there was a guy
at 30th.
There was a guy at 30th AG, got off the bus and was already complaining about how his feet hurt. And when the drill sergeants were fucking yelling at him, "What do you mean your feet hurt, you fucking pussy?" He's like, "It's the first time I've ever worn shoes."
Oh yeah, I believe it. Yep. Yeah,
he had to buy a pair of shoes to go to basic.
Wow.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, oh, boots must have sucked for him. Oh fuck, breaking those things in. Like if the shoes hurt his feet, the boots must have killed him. And he was from Appalachia?
Yeah.
Yeah,
very much so.
Yeah, I think the worst we had was there was a kid from inner city Atlanta, and he didn't know how to tie his fucking boots or his shoes.
No, just never learned that.
He wore Velcro his whole life. His mom bought him Velcro his whole life.
Fucking nerd.
Wow, dude.
It wasn't his fault. I mean, he was a fucking dipshit at first.
Nerd.
No, he was just like very, very, very poor, like very poor inner city black kid. And he joined the army so he could give his family money. I don't think he knew what the fuck he was getting into. To be honest with you, I really don't think so.
Did any of us?
I knew kind of what I was getting into because of my dad and just kind of, you know, whatever. And I knew a lot of people who were in current at that time. I don't think he knew what the fuck was going on because he was like just like a deer in the headlights the first like 6 weeks. He did not know what the fuck was going on. And he just constantly fucked up. I mean, constantly fucked up. And he got us smoked constantly. They'd make him stand, and he would stand because he didn't understand the concept of like, if they're all paying for my fuck up, I'm gonna get down and push with them. So we started getting fucking mad at him. And he was like, "What are you mad at me for? What did I do wrong?" Like, dude, we're paying because of your fuck up. Why don't you just like drop with us? Like, if I fucked up and the whole platoon gets smoked, you notice how I go down and do push-ups, even though they tell me to stand? It's like you got to get it through your head. Oh, okay. So he started going down and doing push-ups when he inevitably fucked up about 10 minutes later. But yeah, he just could not do anything right. And then funny ending to the story. Last time I checked on him, he went to 10th Mountain and he was an E5 within like a year and a half. And he was like squared the fuck away. Like he got his shit together and he was a really good leader and everything. And yeah, he was in Afghanistan when I was in Iraq. So, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of a cool transformation. So hopefully he made a career out of it because his family was dirt poor.
Mm,
So
sounds like it.
yeah, I mean it sucks to see people like that, but it also the army's a good place for him. Like because they didn't have enough money for him to go to school. He couldn't get a job. He's kind of slow. Just, people would have just fired him.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But
But
they
he made it to E5 in the Army.
Yeah, but at the end of basic, he actually was shooting better. He was good. Like they put him in a leadership spot, and he'd actually be good. He caught on within about 6 weeks. That's all it took him. But it was a long 6 weeks for us, man. Oh my god! And his bunkmate. Oh my god, those two they did a lot of exercise. They did a lot of exercise. They were both very strong by the end of the cycle. But I
Oh,
mean, he was a nice kid. He wasn't an asshole, but he was just fucking slow.
I
But
had
yeah.
I had the misfortune of having my bunkmate being a kid that I knew in Birchwood.
Oh no.
Yeah, Matthew Jeffson.
Name's familiar.
Yeah, he was one of Bravo Company's fuck ups.
And he also made. Did he ever make E5?
No,
No, because last time I saw him was I think late 2011, and he was still in E4.
I'm surprised he made it that far.
Yeah,
So, what was it? Was it AT 2007? I think it was eight. I think it was AT 2007. He missed all of AT for whatever reason.
that's
Like
smart.
not not excused. Like he just didn't show up. And and he got slapped with he got slapped with extra duty. He got slapped with docked pay. He ended up having to live at the Rice Lake Armory full time for 2 weeks to make up for AT for missing AT. And one night, for whatever reason, he and some other knucklehead that was having to stay at the Armory decided they were going to walk downtown to go to the bar because they literally were not allowed to drive while they were on this extra duty making up AT.
Right.
And so they walked down to one of the downtown bars and they went bar hopping all night. And then on the way back to the Armory, he decided it was a good fucking idea to go for a swim off the Main Street Bridge in Rice Lake. He jumped off the fucking bridge into the Red Cedar River downstream from the dam. Like literally like 50 yards downstream from the dam where there's
You mean
no fucking river.
into the rocks?
Yeah,
What did he break?
his fucking ankle. He had a compound fracture on his ankle.
Oh no.
So it's completely destroyed.
Completely fucking destroyed.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucked up for life at that point.
And it happened while he was technically on active duty.
Oh, that's
On
fuck him.
extra duty, active
But
duty.
but yeah, he was on. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And then he deployed with us in 09. And when I was working in the commo shop after my article, one of the tasks that we had to do was swap out hard drives on the BFTs, on the Blue Force trackers.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to do it. He just saw us pulling the hard drives out, not realizing that we were doing stuff with the software to unbind the hard drive from the hardware in the truck. And so he just pulls the hard drive out and puts it in the stack. And we're like, where the fuck did you get this hard drive? Oh, I got it out of that truck. Which fucking hard drive was it? Because there's like a stack of 10 hard drives. And he's like, oh, I think it was that one. It better fucking be that one. Because if it isn't that one, you literally just bricked that entire fucking system.
Is that what he did?
He was lucky in guessing that it was the correct one that he had pulled out.
Okay.
Because you open up the panel on the main computer box, and the hard drive is on a tray that you unlock it and it just slides out, and the hard drive's all self-contained. And normally you have to go into the software, into the operating system, and you have to tell it to unbind the hard drive before you pull the hard drive out. Well, if you don't do that and you just pull the hard drive out and you stick the wrong hard drive in, it bricks the whole system. Like you have to replace the system.
We're gonna play a game really quick.
Oh, fun.
It's called One of These Clowns Is Not Like the Other.
And it's me, right?
No.
Oh.
So I'm looking for the one that doesn't fit in.
The one that's saluting.
No, incorrect.
Well, I see there's two guys kind of on the left that have different headgear, or
those are just pith helmets. Those aren't. There's more than one of those guys, so that's not one.
Yeah, but there's guys that just like seem to have like a soft cover on that's right next.
But there's more than one of those. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I laughed my ass off when I found it the first time.
Anyway, you can make it. No, I'll make my screen larger. Here we go.
Well, I don't want to zoom in too far because it makes it easier.
Okay. Some of the helmets have like a white stripe on them. It's interesting.
Yeah, I actually don't know what that's for.
Oh, the guy with the backwards helmet.
There you go, right there. You're a fucking idiot.
I think there's another one farther over to the right like that too.
Yeah, right up there. Yeah, I see it.
Where? So there's the original one.
Go just a little to
straight
the
right.
A little to the right.
Straight right.
Right there you are.
No, that's on correctly. I'm pretty sure. I think that's just like. It's too blurry.
I don't know, but yeah, that one right there.
That one's blatant.
Definitely backwards, yeah.
Because they're all East German M56 helmets, right?
Yeah, no, I could tell
so,
that.
Also, these guys are wearing body armor. Do you notice that?
Oh, yeah. Vests. That's cool.
Yeah, these are probably some guys that you don't want to fuck with.
Mm.
NDA. And, but yeah, that guy's got his fucking.
He can't change it now. If he does, they'll see it. You know, they'll see him like doing shit. So.
More East German helmets.
Yep.
This is a fun one.
Damn, look at those teeth.
Look at those teeth.
Yeah, that's
can make keys with those teeth.
That's an overbite.
You think? I don't think he saw dental before he deployed.
Yeah, that's at least class 2 dental right there.
The guy to the left of him has a nice rack of teeth.
They're actually not bad, yeah.
I don't think those are his.
Yeah, I think that's a
I was like, that's not one of the.
It's not an East German. I think that's they're a Polish WZ-50. That's what I think that is. Might be.
Okay.
It's hard to tell from this angle on the chin strap. They all look the same.
Yeah.
But it might be. It's either that or like a Czech M50. No, it's not an M52. They have a different, thinner chin strap. Could be a Hungarian. No, it's not that because they had a. That's some more nice teeth.
Holy shit nuggets.
Look at that fucking face, dude.
Yeah,
that face has seen some shit.
That is an unfortunate looking man.
Yeah, I still don't want to have that.
Probably got more kids than you.
Yeah. Well, I still don't want
like
that dish. I wouldn't want the dishka that he's holding fucking facing me. I guarantee you that.
That's true. Yeah, that's
but
what you look like that, though.
That's a Hungarian M50 helmet, an OG. It's got the canvas chin strap.
That dude probably fought the Japanese.
I guarantee you, and the French.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He was probably fighting the Japanese in 42, and then he fought the French in 52, and then the Americans in 62.
Yep.
And yes, I know we technically weren't there in 62.
We were just not in force.
Technically.
No, not technically. Observably, like there was a couple thousand advisors there. It's not that big of a force. But
and he was probably at the surrender in 72.
Well, it wasn't a surrender. It was 73, the Paris Accord, and then we didn't officially exit until April 30th in 1975. But hey, fuck what I know. No, it's just this guy has been. That guy does not like people on his land.
No,
he's the old angry farmer on steroids.
That guy's
Get off
stacking
my land.
Americans 12 high and using them as sandbags.
Using them as
There you go.
fertilizer.
Well, he's got a fucking Dushka and he's like in his 70s. So, like, yeah, I'm sure he did.
Well, to be fair, he's probably actually only like 37 in that picture. He's my age.
Yeah, could be. I mean, you've been that withered and been through that much shit, but no, he's probably like legitimately like in his late 50s.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, that guy has fucking seen some shit, and his glasses are awesome. The combat glasses.
Yeah.
He made BCGs cool before they were cool. That's a good picture. This one's fun too. Another NBA guy.
Yeah.
But he's got that's a Czech 52.
It's a what?
A Czechoslovakian VZ52 helmet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going through for the audience members.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
And these are also Czech. No, I can't tell. The fucking pictures are so blurry. This kid's got. I actually don't know. I think those are. That's a tough one. It's hard to tell when the pictures are blurry because I can't see the rivet placement.
Right.
But another East German one. But yeah, this body armor is fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that's a Polish WZ30, I think. So it's an extremely rare fucking helmet that the Polish used in World War II, and then they surplused a couple of them out, and then he's got. I mean, there's been an argument I've had with people about that before, but I'm pretty sure it's a Polish WZ30 from the profile.
Okay.
Fucking rare ass helmet, and then that's another East German one.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. Wait, does he have the new chin strap on? No. That one's a little bit too big for his bucket, but hey. Or his melon. More body armor. I wonder what kind of body armor that is. It just looks like soft armor, but
Yeah, I don't know. It has an interesting collar.
this is a cool picture.
I've seen that photo
40
before.
millimeter.
Yep. Those are Czech helmets mainly.
Yeah, but we can't own a 40 millimeter Bofors.
Yeah, yeah, I know it's fucking retarded, but like I wish let's see. That's a fucking Polish WZ50 right there.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, all the Eastern Bloc countries sent all their spare shit to North Vietnam that they possibly could. The Soviets were like, hey, this shit's just sitting in a warehouse. We've got plenty of surplus. Let's just send it to them. And
we have 50 billion of them.
Exactly. But yeah, this I would not want to have this fucking anti-aircraft gun crew around when I was flying in a Huey. Guaranteed. Yeah. That would hurt. But yeah, so there's just a couple pictures from Vietnam.
Those are cool shit. That was cool.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, guys, I am gonna bow out because I need to go to bed.
Yeah, me too.
I'm getting up
It's
at
been
4
2
o'clock
hours
in the morning.
Good stream. So what's our keyword for people watching after?
Ooh.
Flammenwerfer?
Yeah, Flammenwerfer. Yes.
Flammenwerfer.
So if you're watching this ex post facto, in the comments, when you get to this point, type Flammenwerfer into the comment section.
Flammenwerfer.
Do people actually do that?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, I see it all the time.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
absolutely. Yeah, people listen to us like a podcast, like when they're at work or something. Because I mean,
those
unless
poor,
we're doing
sorry
something like
souls.
what? Well, I mean,
Those poor sorry souls.
well, it's nice to hear people bullshitting once in a while that they have a filter. So that's why I like listening to certain podcasts that just don't give a fuck, and they just say what's on their mind, and it just goes wherever. But anywho, yeah. So Flammenwerfer, that was a sweet picture. I win.
Good shit.
So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you probably. Oh, we're doing the premiere of episode 3 of that conversation I had with Don Stout tomorrow night at 6 p.m.
Well, right on.
Get the premiere set up.
I might actually be home by then.
Yeah. So we'll see you then. If it doesn't show up because Jake, you said it wasn't showing up last week or the week before when we premiered it. Somebody said it wasn't showing up.
I couldn't make it.
Oh, but you can see the premiere on
last week I was at your house.
No. I'm talking the last time I did it the week before. Like when you said something like that. It wasn't showing up on my YouTube channel.
I didn't say anything about that.
Somebody said something. All right. Well, anywho, go bookmark that shit. Put a reminder on so you can make it for that. That one is a cool episode. It's a little bit lighter than previous two, but it's still just real talk. So I think you guys will enjoy it. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week for Friday Night Shite.